So Eric, let's talk about Kevin a little bit in that swim. I mean, all season, were you ever thinking 50.7, or was there ever any a time goal at all for him?
No, we don't really make time goals. We kind of worry about the process. And you know, he came in as a sprinter, but I think the 200 is really his race right now because his stroke. He's such a glider, and his body line has gotten so good. He's really struggling right now to put his power, which is better than it's been, into his body line that quickly, and that's something that'll come with time. He's still making big gains, and you know, I'm happy with it. But I think if you asked him, he wasn't real pleased with it. But I think it's a step, and we need to keep taking those steps.
Even though he was under 50 last night in the relay, I mean, it looked like he was almost forcing that tempo. Like what you're talking about, he has a better glide, and it looked better here in this race.
Right. His first 25 wasn't very good last night when he went 49.5. And I think if you look at his last 75 of that relay split, you'll see what the future has. And I think you'll see it tomorrow in the 200 too. And when he broke the U.S. Open record at Texas, we were just going stroke count in the morning, and he went 150.19, and there was kind of a revelation about how he swims the fastest. So it's a learning process, and I'm really excited to watch him go long course, quite honestly.
When you're training him throughout the season, how much percentage of a focus are you putting on the 100 and how much on the 200 training?
Breaststroke development. I think a lot of the 100 comes from the weight room, quite honestly, and the 200 we do a lot of hypoxic training with the breaststrokers, and it's a combination of the two, really. And you know, that's a good question, but I think we're still in the developmental stages with him.
You had talked to me in December about the fact that he has kind of a unique ability to flatten out his back. Yeah. Talk a little bit more about what that means.
Well, just with his body shape, I guess it's the way you build a breaststroker, but he can flatten his back out and close the gap in terms of stroke count if he's long on a wall, and it's interesting to see, and you know, it's something that he's gotten better and better at utilizing.
Do you have a prediction? I know you said you don't really think about numbers, but you got to have some kind of number in mind for tomorrow's 200.
Well, I know he's hungry now because he's not happy with that 100, but I think he's had a really strong meet, and I'm really happy with his relay split because that, like I said, it's a sign of things to come. But I think he's best right now when he can ride 4 strokes in length, and that's where he separates himself from everybody else.
Going back to that relay split and that relay in general, you guys had the same lead going into the halfway mark last year. Mm-hmm. This year it was a little bit more significant of a lead and never let that one go. Did you ever let yourself feel comfortable during that race?
No, I didn't. And you know, I never saw a stroke from any of the other teams, and I want to go back and I want to see Vlad. I want to see some of the other great swims, because great swimming is fun to watch. But I watched every stroke our team took, and at one point I looked, and the lead they had, I felt good, but at the same time you don't want to count on that. But it was really fun, and I thought Nim did a great job getting us home.
We're about almost 2 days through the meet. What kind of grade would you give your team's performance so far?
A, without a doubt, an A. I'm really proud of them. We've missed on a couple things, but you know, the telltale sign of a good team in my eyes is to have a subpar 200 free relay and come back and have a medley relay at the end of the night like that with some of the same guys on it. That earns a lot of respect in my book.
Talk about what, besides Kevin, the person you think has really kind of stepped up and done something.
Kevin Steele. We laugh because, I mean, he's a great athlete. He's a great athlete, and he'll tell you his stroke went away from him. And 6 weeks ago, when we had to rest him a little bit just to get his stroke back, and we went through the basics again, and to dolphin dives and the shallow end, simple things like that. And we worked on his line, and Brandy did a great job with him, and you know, our breaststrokers trained together at least twice a week, and I saw this stroke that just wasn't working, and so to go from not being a breaststroker 6 weeks to getting second, and he would have been the American record holder last year. That hats off to him. What a stud.
How much does having Kevin Cordes in practice push the rest of those breaststrokers to another level? Even Carl would have been in the top 4 in the final if he would have brought that time in the morning. Yeah.
Clark Burkle.
Yeah.
It's fun. we put them together at times and we separate them at times. And when we do test sets, I like to separate them so that they don't know what the other one's doing, so that they swim within themselves and they're learning about themselves as opposed to getting outside of what they're doing. So it's been a good balance, and it's been a lot of fun. And you know, when Kevin did that last night, I texted Clark because they all work really well together and they work on things together. And Clark gets a lot of credit for working on his pull-out and just shape, and it's a really special environment, that breaststroke group.
Thanks, Eric. Best of luck finishing this out tomorrow.
Thank you.